Hi everyone, I'm Miss Patty for another edition of Young Arts. Today I wanted to introduce you to Stella, my puppy, because sometimes she barks when the mailman comes. So I wanted you to meet Stella, and maybe one day I'll be able to bring her to the hospital so you can meet her. Hi Stella, say hi to everybody. Hi everybody. Okay, go play. Let's talk about art. Today we're going to read the book Penguins Love Colors by Sarah Aspinall. And we're going to do a project for penguins. We're going to draw this together. It doesn't have to look exactly like this, my artist friends. But I'm going to show you how to draw a penguin. And then, if you want to draw, after you draw your penguin, if you want to go back and make a little scenery showing your penguins playing, you'll know how to draw a penguin. So let's talk a little bit about the art supplies that you're going to need today. You're going to need your paints or your markers, either one. And I'm going to remind everybody how to use these paints, and you'll remember these paints from school. You're going to need a glass of water and a paintbrush. And most of these paint kits come with a paintbrush, so I think that's good. If you need a bigger paintbrush, be sure to ask somebody to get you one, nicely of course. You're going to need a Sharpie, and of course your pencil with an eraser or a regular eraser. To do your sketching first, pencil always first. You're going to need a paper towel to clean when you use your paints. You check your paints on your paintbrush, and you wash your paintbrush, and you make sure it's clean at the end. So you're going to need a paper towel. Markers I already told you about. You can also do this project with crayons. So you don't need paints. If you don't have paints, that's fine. If you have a pencil and crayons, and of course a piece of paper, you're going to need a piece of paper. I think you're set. Okay, let's get started. Penguins Love Colors by Sarah Aspinall. This is a rainbow. A rainbow comes after rain and the sun comes out. The colors are always in the same order. So my artist friends, it starts with red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Whenever you see a rainbow, it's always going to be in the same colors. Penguins Love Colors by Sarah Aspinall. Once there were 6 little penguins, 6 little penguins who loved colors, which was kind of funny because where they lived, everything was snowy white. Their names were Tulip, Tiger Lily, Dandelion, Violet, Bluebell, and Broccoli. Can you guess why? Because Mama Penguin loved colors too, and each penguin was named after a brightly colored flower. One day, the penguins wanted to make a surprise for her. What could they do? I know, said Tulip. Let's use our paints and make the most colorful picture we can. Do you think these little penguins love to paint on perfectly white ice and snow? They certainly did. The penguins got to work. All of them used their favorite colors, like red, orange, yellow, purple, blue, green. Do you think they made a mess? Yes! From top to bottom, they were covered with paint. Oh, look how cute they are. So we're going to be drawing penguins today. So you can make your penguin any color you want. If you choose to make your penguin purple, that's great. Here comes Mama, whispered Tiger Lily. Would she like her surprise? Wow, cried Mama with a delight. What a wonderful rainbow and so many beautiful flowers. What clever little penguins you are. Did Mama Penguin know who painted each color? Of course she did. And do you know? I bet the green one was done by Broccoli. Red tulip, orange tiger lily, yellow dandelion, purple violet, blue bluebell, and lots of lovely green broccoli. Those little penguins were so happy they jumped up and flipped all the way upside down. I love my surprise, said Mama. I love flowers and I love colors, but not as much as I love my 6 little penguins. 6 little penguins who need a bath. Did those penguins scrub and scrub inside the tub until they were all clean again? Yes. And when they were finished, the 6 little penguins were worn out, so they cuddled up for a nap, safe and happy in Mama's warm, loving lap. The end. That was a great book. Now, let's do our art project. Wasn't that a cute book? Penguins love colors. We're going to draw a penguin. This is the project that we're going to be doing. You don't have to do a bow. You can do a hat on your penguin. You can make a funny little hat like a party hat. You can do whatever you want. Let's draw this together. And after you learn how to draw a penguin, you can color in your penguin, or you can turn your paper over and draw on the other side. And that's always a possibility. Just turn your paper over and draw on the other side. So let's get started. I already sketched out my penguin, so we're going to go slowly. You are going to do it in pencil. I'm going to use my Sharpie, but you're going to do pencil first, and then you're going to trace, that's a vocabulary word, trace over all lines, and then we're going to color everything in. This takes time. Let's get the penguin going first, and then you can take your time coloring it in after we draw it. First thing you're going to do to draw a penguin, and I hope everybody has their pencil, not a Sharpie. First thing you're going to do is you're going to make, with pencil, you're going to make a rectangle with rounded corners. Now you can make your penguin big or small. It doesn't matter. But first we're going to do a rectangle, 2 sides long, 2 sides short, with rounded corners, just like that. If it doesn't look perfect, don't forget we're using pencil. You can erase. You can, if you draw lightly, sketching lightly, you can erase really easily. So try practicing drawing lightly on the back of your paper in pencil and see if you can draw nice and lightly. And how do you know you're drawing lightly? When you erase, you don't see the lines. It doesn't make a scar. If you draw too dark, it's a scar on your paper. So we wanted to draw very, very lightly. I'm gonna take that off right now. Okay, does everybody have their rectangle with rounded corners? Okay, the next thing you're going to do is 2 eyes. And I'm gonna make my eyes circles. And a circle on the inside. with a little white dot. You're doing this in pencil, remember? I'm doing it in Sharpie so you can see. And we're going to draw 2 wings. And the wings kind of look like triangles, don't they? And if I'm going too fast, just try and follow along as best you can. We don't want anyone getting frustrated. This is supposed to be fun. And I think this art video will be shown throughout the week, so you'll get a chance to see this later on today or maybe tomorrow, and you can catch up if you're not going fast enough. But right now we have our rectangle with rounded corners, 2 circles for the eyes, 2 triangles, and an upside down triangle for the beak, just like that. Does everybody have their upside down triangle? That's great. Okay, let's do the tummy. I'm going to start here, and with your pencil, you're going to do a curve here, and on the other side of your triangle, you're going to do another curve, just like that. Remember, penguins have white tummies. There's our triangle for the beak, the 2 eyes, the triangles for our wings, and now the feet. These webbed feet. And I'm going to go like this. And you can make your feet however you want. You can make them into a rectangle. You can add little toes like that. And that's up to you. Now, you have yours in pencil. I want you to take time to do everything, trace over all lines with Sharpie. And while you're doing that, I'm going to talk a little bit about how we're going to finish this up. Just go ahead and put Sharpie on all the lines, trace over them. You can, after you trace, you can add a snow in the background. And I'm just, you see how when I add snow, it's line, 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 hop, line, line, line. Okay, take a moment. Let's talk about details while you're tracing over all your pencil lines. Details really make your artwork look special. Details are, and I will show you details, details are adding a bow or adding a hat. And here the mama has her little scarf. And details are this penguin is on his tummy and going down the snowbank. These are things you can do after we draw this. We draw this, now you know how to draw a penguin, and then you can do this little story. So let's do this first. Okay, how are you doing on tracing over all your lines? Now, here's what I want to remind everybody. Your paper is 2-sided. On the back side, you can try out your colored paints or your markers. And I'm thinking I want to paint the body, but I'm looking at this and I say to myself, I think this is too light. It kind of looks gray. So I am going to use, but you do not have to, I am going to use a marker to go over all the black, but you don't have to. This is where you test it out. If you want to see what the blue looks like, you test it out in the back. And then you turn it over and you still have your artwork here. Okay, everybody, after you trace over, I want you to go ahead and with your marker or paint, you can do paint if you want. If this is practice for a bigger project that you want to work on, if this is practice how to draw a penguin and this is not your final artwork, you can do it very fast. But if this is your final masterpiece, let's make sure that we do a good job. It can be practice, it can be sloppy copy. That's going to be up to you. Now, have you thought about what you want to do to do your artwork? Do you want to do a marker? Do you want to do marker, or do you want to do paints? Or do you want to do both? You can do both too. And is everybody seeing, after you do all your Sharpie lines, trace over all your Sharpie lines, let's just go ahead and color this in. This takes a bit of time, but it's going to look so cute. I'm going to show you how you use crayons to add details to your artwork once you've colored it all in. Turn your paper sideways if you need to. I know your tray where you're doing that table tray where you're doing your artwork isn't always big enough. So you can turn your paper sideways and color in. He's coming out so cute. Have you thought about details? Are you going to add a hat? A cute little hat or something? You can add a boy hat or a girl hat. My pen's running out already. For my older artists, please make this a little more difficult for yourself by maybe showing more action in your artwork. Challenge yourself, because this can be an easy project for our younger artists, or you can make it as complicated as you want. While we're doing this, I want to remind everybody, after you do your artwork, I would love for you to email me, parents. This is my email address, misspattyyoungarts@gmail.com. Go ahead and email me if you have any questions about our lessons. Too easy, too hard, too fast, too boring. Feel free to tell me. I love your feedback. It helps me be a better art teacher. Okay. I've colored in our penguin. You can paint, you can do marker. I'm going to do marker, I think, because I hardly ever get a chance to do marker. I'm going to do orange marker for the beak. And orange marker. And if you're painting, there's several different colors on your painting tray for orange. Remember, on the back of your paper, I want you to try the different colors out, because one looks like orange and it comes out yellow. So I want you to look at your paints and try them out on the back. You can go ahead and try them out. I'm going to try out my oranges just so you can see. That's kind of a reddish orange. One orange looks just like yellow. Doesn't that orange look like yellow? You don't want that orange for the feet and the beak. Okay. Now, you can use your pencil to draw a hat or a bow, like I did here. Make a bow. You can make your penguin have a baseball bat if you want, and a baseball. that's up to you. Those are details, and you can add those when you finish your artwork. Okay, then I'm going to look and see if I have a blue that I like. Ooh, I really like that blue. That blue would be a pretty blue for the sky. Don't you think, boys and girls? Okay, This Patty made a mess. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do the sky. And don't forget, these are watercolor paints. They need a lot of water. And then you can use your paintbrush to move the paints around. If you're using a small paintbrush that comes in with your paints, you might want to ask for a larger paintbrush, which they have in the playroom, or your nurse can maybe find you a larger paintbrush for the bigger areas. Big paintbrushes are for big paint areas. Small paintbrushes are for small areas. Doesn't he look cute? I'm gonna have to show Stella after. Maybe one day we can draw a dog together. That would be fun. Don't forget to email me, send me the pictures of your artwork with your first name only, and I will show them on when we do art for other lessons. I will show some of the penguins that we did. That looks so cute. Okay, I'm going to put that there. I'm going to show you once again what you can do now that you know how to do a penguin. You can make them do action. And I'm going to show you how to draw action lines. If he's going downhill, you can do action line like that. His arms are going up, action lines. These are called action lines. Mama's arms are going up. And it makes it more cartoony. Okay, let's take a look one more time before I leave you. You have your rounded corners for your rectangle, the triangles for your wings, a triangle for the nose, 2 circles for the eyes, 2 smaller circles for the pupils. The legs can be like this, or they can just be little rectangles. It doesn't have to look like this. Did you do the snow line? Line, 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 hop, line, line, line. Okay, well, I hope everybody had a good time learning how to draw penguins, and I'll see you next time for another edition of Young Arts. Thanks for drawing with us.